Trump to use presidential authority to send weapons to Ukraine.
PM meets with Vietnamese international female diplomats.
New population policy. Key to improving population quality in Nghệ An.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news by Nghệ An Press and Broadcasting Agency. Now let's get started. The U.S. President Donald Trump, for the first time since returning to office, will send weapons to Kiev under a presidential power frequently used by his predecessor. This move shows a notable change in his policy towards the Russia-Ukraine conflict.
The PDA, Presidential Drawdown Authority, allows the U.S. President to release weapons from military reserves to support allies in emergency situations. This is a mechanism that former President Joe Biden has used many times to support Kiev. The value of the aid package for Ukraine is expected to be around $300 million. President Trump announced earlier this week that the U.S. would send more weapons to Ukraine to help the country defend against the increasing attacks of the Russian Federation. Although the specific equipment has not been decided, sources said the aid package could include Patriot air defense missiles and medium-range attack missiles. The final decision on the type of weapon will be made at a meeting on July 11.
Defense Minister of Israel Katz said on Thursday that Israel will strike Iran again if it is threatened by Tehran. The statement was made after Israel and Iran agreed to a U.S. brokered ceasefire, ending a 12-day air campaign in June.
The warning to resume the attack on Iran was made by Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz at the graduation ceremony of a new class of Israeli Air Force pilots. Katz affirmed that the graduation ceremony of the new class of pilots was a message to Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei and Iranian leaders that Israel's long arm could strike every corner of Iran and that Iranian leaders no longer had any safe places to hide. The Israeli defense minister emphasized that in case it felt necessary to resume the attack campaign on Iran, Israel's next attack would be even more catastrophic and fierce than the attack campaign last June.
Vietnamese Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính and his spouse on July 10 evening met with Vietnamese and international female diplomats on the occasion of International Day of Women in Diplomacy in the United Nations, towards celebrating the upcoming 80th anniversary of Vietnam's diplomatic sector.
Welcoming female diplomats at the meeting, the PM wished them good health and continued contributions to the nations and to global diplomacy so as to keep promoting peace, cooperation, and development, advocating multilateralism, and promoting international solidarity, to cope with the complex and unpredictable global landscape. He emphasized that a people-centered, comprehensive, inclusive, and global approach is essential. The Prime Minister also hopes that female diplomats will continue to contribute to the common goals of the United Nations and the goals of each nation. The Prime Minister noted that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs always creates all conditions for relevant agencies, including embassies, so that female diplomats can best perform their duties, devote themselves to their best, and leave a good impression of sincerity, trust, and affection.
Upcoming are some updated news.
Ban Mong Reservoir Project has a total investment of 5.552 billion Vietnamese dongs. Nghệ An Province is responsible for two tasks: constructing a pumping station system and canals to draw water from the Hue River, and managing the compensation, resettlement, and site clearance components. To date, site clearance for the company Ba Reservoir Basin, Chao Bin Commune, has been completed, with an estimated recovery of 390 hectares. Currently, Nghệ An Province is directing construction units and local authorities to coordinate closely to focus on implementing the remaining project items. It is requested that the Management Board of Investment and Construction of Irrigation Project 4 coordinate closely with Nghệ An Province in preparing for the inauguration ceremony of the Ban Mong Project's headworks, which will be held on August 19.
The North-South High-Speed Railway Investment Policy was approved by the National Assembly at the end of 2024. with a preliminary total investment exceeding $67.3 billion United States dollars. The section passing through Nghệ An province is expected to be approximately 85.5 kilometers long, divided into two main segments. Segment 1 begins after the line crosses Trong Lam Mountain, bypassing the Hoang Mai cement plant area, Hoang Mai Ward. Heading westward, it will be situated between the existing railway corridor and the North-South Expressway. This segment will cross the Hoang Mai River and conclude at Than Vu Mountain. From Than Vu Mountain, Segment 2 will continue to bypass the Oo Dam, cross N5 Road, and run parallel to the east of the expressway. The line will pass through Yen Trung Commune and lead to Vinh Station, which is planned to be located in Hung Nguyen Commune. Vinh Station will serve as a connection point between the western inner city area and the city center.
The Vietnam Dance Sport Festival 2025 officially kicked off on July 10 evening at the Military Zone 7 Stadium in Ho Chi Minh City. The festival was jointly organized by the Vietnam Gymnastics Federation and the KTA, King the Art Training Center. This year's festival welcomes dancers across age groups and has set a new record with more than 4,000 competition entries. It saw more than 100 international referees. With thorough investment, international scale and a spirit of deep integration, Vietnam Dance Sport Festival 2025 not only contributes to bringing Vietnamese dance sport to a new level but also affirms the image of a dynamic, creative and strongly integrated Vietnam with the world.
Today, July 11, marks a World Population Day, and this year's theme emphasizes a reproductive self-determination in a changing world. In Vietnam, a series of new population policies have been issued, demonstrating the adaptability of population growth in this new period. In Nghệ An, population growth continues to face many challenges. Therefore, these new policies are expected to be the key to sustainably improving the population quality. More in this story.
The mindset of favoring sons over daughters and the desire to have sons to continue the family line still persists in many families. This is the reason why the sex ratio at birth in Nghệ An during the first 6 months of the year remained high at 113.36 male births per 100 female births, despite the population sector's efforts to implement numerous solutions.
Gender imbalance at birth has multiple causes. Everyone wants to have sons to continue the family line and to be the main laborers in the family.
Besides, the quality of the population, such as the health of the elderly, the prevalence of child marriage, and physical stature of Vietnamese people remains limited. Therefore, the issuance of new policies in the first half of this year demonstrates Vietnam's proactive approach to population work in the new situation. Notably, Circular 17 of the Ministry of Health strongly decentralizes authority to the commune level, allowing local authorities the flexibility to organize their administrative structure and personnel to implement population work in a way that suits their specific local conditions. Circular 17, which defines the functions and duties of the 2 levels of government in the field of population, is very close to the people and contributes to improving population quality in the new situation. Circular 17, along with the Politburo's Conclusion 149, which promotes the implementation of Resolution 21 and amends Article 10 of the Population Ordinance allowing couples to decide on the number of children they have, are considered the three-legged stool, enabling Nghệ An to shift the focus of its population work from family planning to population and development. We are confident that Circular 17 along with the Politburo's Conclusion 149 will serve as a driving force, galvanizing the entire political system to resolutely implement major initiatives concerning population and development. Right in the first week of local commune-level authorities becoming operational, localities simultaneously implemented new population policies and innovative approaches, aiming to sustainably enhance population quality.
the last story to send it our news today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye and see you later.